space racism, gang, is when people believe in astrological signs, which if you like to, that's cool, like nothing against it. It's when, you know, you let these pieces of words dictate how you kind of feel, how that you're like, you know, if you're a Cancer and I'm a Leo, oh my god, we're not compatible, you know what I mean? We're gonna break down a little bit of each of the 12 space categories, okay? This is very important, okay? It starts off with the Aries, okay? This thing, V. You know what V stands for? Vertigo. And it also is a ram. This is the first of many of them, right? It is, for, you know, between the end of December and something of January, right? It's cool. There's a weird little ram thing, right? Because everyone likes rams. Aries are typically pretty big eaters, right? They have a pretty big stomach. They like to do food challenges. It's why the things like Man versus Food exists. They don't fuck around because food is life with these people, and that's a respectable thing. That's one of the traits that I appreciate, right? But there's some cons about Aries, though, right? A, they don't share their food. 2, they're babies. 3, they're bad drivers. I don't think you understand that if, you know, Aries is what Gino wishes all his friends were. So then he can, you know, as you know, he's a big car crash enthusiast. Exhibit A, okay? The next one up is the Taurus, okay? Taurus is like a bull, you know? And you know what they like to do? Is you would like to think that they grab life by the fucking horns, right? But, I mean, like, in a sense, I guess they do, right? Tauruses are way too obsessed with astrology. If their horoscope says Tauruses don't eat like chicken, that week they ain't eating chicken. They're so dialed into this thing that they're just obsessed with it. They have no, and it's like, it drives them. It's almost like they're under a spell, you know what I mean? But they're also the most curious sexually because they're kind of swingers. They're into that kind of stuff. The orgies, swingers, really anything or anyone they can get their hands in or whatever you need to do, right? So next, we have the Geminis. Usually, you know, they're some of your younger friends. Some might say that they're the unproblematic kings and queens of the zodiac sign. I like to think of them as, you know, still quite problematic, unproblematic kings, right? You know, they in that tea, you know what I mean? You know, they out there, not cause any problems amongst them, you know, but they smart. They play it smart. They're hella sassy. Hella sassy. You'll be saying something, and then they'll just be quite sassy back, you know, like, some might say, exactly. You know, some might say something about my mother. I don't know. But, like, something comes out. Next is the Cancers. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the Cancer sign is 69. So that's fucking nice. Am I right? You could say that they're kind of kings and queens. They're people that get results. They're leaders amongst their groups. You know, they stand out from the crowd. The next one, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, the next one is the biggest red flag of all of the zodiac signs. It is the Leos, okay? These lions and lionesses. They're always looking for the tea. They're always trying to find it because, you know, they want to know because they got to know.
Tell me everything!
They typically hate men. Like, I get it. Not all of them are great, but I mean, like, a lot of them I think are pretty good. I'm gonna tell you right now, they seem to really like this TV show on Netflix because they're always trying to find their 13th reason. I was supposed to click image. They're always looking for their 13th reason. And you're just like, please, like, can we just chill? You know, you're not always looking for a 13th. Now, next is the Virgos. Now, this sign looks like an M with an additional leg. They typically degen and play a lot of World of Warcraft, right? Like, these people are up for like 20 to 30 hours straight playing Warcraft. Hygiene out the window, okay? They don't care because they have to raid with the squad. They're out there shouting Leroy Jenkins, you know what I mean? When they go outside, they eat sunscreen. They don't apply it because they don't know, because they are afraid of the sun. This is like that kid from hit movie The Benchwarmers, you know? And you're a little concerned that he's eating fucking sunscreen. It goes on your skin, not in you, and it doesn't make sense, right? They're the most antisocial degens, you know what I mean? Now, the Libra. If you've ever liked to weigh things, Libra is your sign. As you can see, it's a scale. You can put shit on one side or the other. It's cool, right? So that means they could be totally happy on one day and totally like a bitch the next. You know, that is the wildest thing. But they love BTS, typically. As you know, there is 7 members of BTS, though, just fun fact. They're also big fans of dogs and pets. They typically end up taking care of them pretty good. Not like as good as like some later signs that you'll see. It's specifically dogs though. Like they don't care for cats, they don't care for guinea pigs, they don't care for like hippopotamus, right? The Scorpios, if you like bugs, the Scorpio guy is your guy, you know? Scorpio, but at the same time poisonous. They're very toxic, right? This is what you like to think. Because you think Scorpion, I think I'm gonna die. But they're also very smart. They typically seem to be some of the smartest people out there. You know what I mean? Like Einstein. We're talking like IQs of like 120 to 130, I guess. I don't really know what IQs really go up to, but I'm assuming Einstein was like 140 and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. But the thing is, with being so smart, they have a massive chance of a little bit of dementia, which, you know, it happens, right? The smarts outweigh the dementia, so it kind of works, right? Double-edged sword, right? So you just never know. That they're unhinged, some might say. So next, have the Sagittarius. So if you're into archery, and specifically like not minotaurs, but like I can't remember the other thing, but the half human on top and horse on the bottom, they're pretty lazy people. You know, they don't actually want to do much. They're the kind of person that lays in their bed when they wake up for 45 minutes on their phone, specifically watching TikToks and scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. And then that 45 minutes hits and they think, let's just roll over for a little bit. They finally get up at about noon, start to have breakfast, and boom, half their day's wasted, but then they really don't get productive till about 9 p.m., and the day's almost over, and they're tired because they had such a weird day because they kind of just moped around all day, and they don't understand why they're tired. Then they go back to bed and repeat. But one of the cool things is they're really good at bowling. They're like Esteban, Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on that bowling episode when he hit the 7-10 split. It was boom. That's how good, that's the kind of bowler you are, okay? It is unfucking real, okay? These people out here are getting an average of 150 plus.
Nice throw.
Next up, we have the Capricorns. If you like, you know, fish goats, if you're kind of into that kind of weird bestiality, mix-up, swapperoo, I like to think that this is for you. They're pretty gullible. You know, they're the kind of people that, hey, your shoe's untied. They look down, boom, you hit them in the face, and you got them right there. Looking for the word gullible on the ceiling. You know what I mean? April Fool's Day is a day of reckoning. But they also perform witchcraft. They're really big on it. Sometimes they like to use the gullibleness as a false sense of, like, you know, security, so people think they're silly. Really, they're reading Witchcraft, Intimacy, and Trust, which is a great read, some might say. It's about learning spells, building intimacy with yourself, and trusting absolutely no one. Because tonight, we will perform the hex on this. That's the vibe they get. They're like, this motherfucker's told me to look up at the ceiling one too many times. Next thing you know, there's a voodoo doll. Next thing you know, you're wondering why you wake up with back pain? I think you need to contact your friends that just happen to be Capricorns, okay? Now, the Aquarius. Aquaries, some might say Aquarius. Now, this sign looks like somebody holding a Spartan laser from Halo 3 or something like that. Like, the crazy thing about the Aquarii is they like to ride horses. They're big on horseback. They prefer to use that over a car. You'll ever wonder where the term horse girls came from? It's the Aquarius. They also can talk to animals. You like to think that the Libras were good with dogs. The Aquariuses are good with all animals. You know, they are like Dr. Dolittle, speaking with them, you know, to them, and bringing, you know, trust and you know, they're dabbing up, you know, because frogs are cool and shit. They also are great swimmers. Usually can hold their breath typically longer than most, but at the same time, they're not afraid to drag you under the water and hold you a little bit there to see if you can beat their record. And then you're just like a little afraid that they're not going to let go, and then you might drown, but then you're like, will they give me mouth to mouth? I don't know. Being a good swimmer and talking to animals sounds like a pretty good, sounds like a win. We have the Pisces. This is like 2 E's backwards. If you like Doctor Strange, you kind of have a little bit of a time stone right here. They're the most emotional. They're so, you never know what's gonna happen, right? It's kind of like 1 minute they're, you know, hog facing, the next minute they're sicker than a dog, you know? They're in bed throwing up, and it doesn't make sense. Why aren't you in the toilet, right? But then after that, they're angry and trying to stab you with a fork, specifically about here. And it's like, what did I do? I just said you look a little thicker in those jeans, sweetie, right? And then then they're just like, oh, like my life is so hard. You know, they're an emotional roller coaster. You know, cool if you're into that, right? They do like chemistry. The one time they kind of accidentally made crack one time. They were like, do I do this as a career? And then you joked about it and you weren't sure if they were serious or not, right? Because I don't think you guys understand that Pisces, the roller coaster friend, you know what I mean? Like, they will be your most calm friends at one point, but also your craziest. Because next thing you know, they have signed you up to do a bull riding competition, and now we're not talking about the ones at the bar, okay? We are talking about the actual competition. You're out there, you don't even know what you're doing. Sometimes they're just like, get in. You don't know what you're going to. One time you might be skydiving, another time you might be at a drug bust that the triads, that your friend is dealing with the triads, and you just don't even understand what's going on because your friend all of a sudden knows multiple languages, and you're like, what the fuck? But you kind of like, do I need to be ride or die for this person? Like, would they stab someone for me? And then boom, chaos ensues, you're getting out of there, and you both make it out alive somehow, and your friend thinks you guys are ride or die, so you guys keep doing crazier shit. It gets to the point where, like, if you were to have a family, they would be put in danger. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's showbiz, right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my TED Talk on the astrological signs. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really feel like that I was accurate after knowing absolutely nothing about them. Thank you. Thank you.